Kisumu, 400 kilometers to the northwest of Nairobi, is best known for sugar. And it was through the vast cane fields that competitors faced the third round of the 2012 KCB Kenya National Rally Championship, the KCB Mobile Banking Rally. The biggest concern was the unpredictable weather, with the route sitting squarely between the Nandi Hills and Lake Victoria. And on the day before the event, it was not looking good.
This is how Kisumu is. You wouldn't know the kind of weather you expect here. Now it's bright and sunshine. In the evening, it's pouring.
The backdrop of Lake Victoria diffused the mounting tension as the 54 cars taking part gathered at the Kisumu Simba Club for the pre-event safety check. The annual Equator Motor Sports Club Rally is the one event of the year where predictions are never guaranteed. And with such a strong entry, the odds were far from favourable. Alistair Kavanagh and Carl Tundo were expected to set the pace, but Ian Duncan, Azar Anwar and Peter Horsey are all equally as quick and were unlikely to let them get away. Badav Chaga was once again spearheading the Subaru attack, now a full member of the Cabras team alongside Tejveer and Onkarai, all in N16s. The rally itself took place the following day, giving the crews time to review recce notes and tactics. Some worked late into the evening, making final adjustments, while others enjoyed the sunset across the lake, which promised a clear day ahead. With a long day of motoring to get through, it was a dawn start from outside KCB's flagship branch in the town centre, where the Minister for Sport set the rally in motion.
I must admit at this juncture that it also feels really great to preside over the prestigious Kisumu Rally for the first time ever as the Minister of Sports.
Carl Tundo and Tim Jessup had been drawn to run first on the road, but it was the previous year's winner, Ian Duncan and Amos Slatch, that the crowds had come to see. Further out of town on the Kisumu to Kericho highway, bystanders were captivated as the cars rushed past on their way to the first control. "11 stages made up the competitive distance of 163 kilometers, with all but one repeated twice. The 30-kilometer stage 2 represented 40% of the event, with the remaining stages all bordering on 10 kilometers each. Rally HQ and the service park were bang in the middle of it all, located at Chemelil. Carl Tundo and Tim Jessup set off to increase their leading margin in the championship, driving through the early mud holes with confidence that their pace would be difficult to catch. But all hopes of winning went when they ingested water and they lost 12 minutes stopping and nursing an overheating engine.
Big cut, turn slow right over ditch before culvert.
We've put the fan through the radiator in the first section. Over a jump, I think the car flexed and water started coming out. I hope it hasn't overheated too much.
Out on the route again, the engine continued to overheat and they were forced to retire. Alistair Kavanagh and Gavin Lawrence were the early pace setters, winning stage 1, but in the process had landed hard after a yump and holed the sump, ending their rally at the beginning of stage 2.
There was a long straight and I wasn't really concentrating. We hit a jump much too fast and hard, and it felt as if it landed fine, and I thought we'd go away with it, but clearly not. We managed to finish the stage okay, and we were fastest through the stage, so I thought all okay.
The lead was now in the hands of Ian Duncan and Amos Slatch, who got through the stages clean, and by the first service had opened up a gap of 28 seconds. There was a window in the weather, and with the roads predominantly dry, they were quicker through stage 2, but would have to maintain an unrelenting pace to stay at the front.
Yeah, the first section we were a bit asleep, but it wasn't so bad. And then, obviously Flash and I had a problem, unfortunately. And yeah, we just took it easy on the rocks on that one because we didn't really want to get a puncture. So.
Chasing hard were Badav Chaga and Raji Semi, who started cautiously in favour of preserving the car for what was a long rally. They were in second and were putting pressure on Duncan, in between keeping their eye on the temperature gauge, having got mud in the radiator.
Stage in the morning, I think we could have been a bit faster, just too sleepy. I think we just could not get the car handling right, and alignment didn't feel good, or maybe it was just me. And then we woke up in the second stage and got a decent time. Yeah, so that's why we're here in second now. So.
In third were Azhar Anwar and Julius Gike in the Evo 8, but it was a difficult drive for Azhar, who was not feeling at all well. They dropped 2 minutes on the opening stages, making costly mistakes that were damaging the car, and it was becoming a rally of perseverance. The hybrid pickup of Peter Horsey and Bella Erskine was off the pace right from the start, with the engine intermittently losing power. It turned out to be a faulty sensor, which eventually shut the engine down altogether on stage 2, and they were out. Having done a thorough recce of the route, Raji Barij and Jeff Mays were storming through the stages, fully committed on their goal of winning an event before the end of the season.
Fast right, 100.
They were after a podium place on this rally, and despite losing the rear trailing arm, were on track, slotting into 4th place after the first 2 stages.
We couldn't understand what was going on. We came over this jump, landed, and then the car just flicked sideways, so I thought a drive shaft had come off or I'd bent a control arm. But there was no weird noises, you know, sometimes it would go straight, then they'd just kick off, so you couldn't predict what the car was going to do.
After a run of bad luck with their Evo 9, Izar Mirza and Kavit Dave were proving that when the car performs, they are strong contenders. They were in 5th, but with the following 4 cars all within 30 seconds, they could not afford any mistakes.